One, there we go.
Okay. So we
Yay!
got
Here we
the
go. Okay,
raise, or we
and we
yeah,
are
we're good. Looks like we'll have.
we are here. We are strange and okay. Here, so we got an interview with Mr. Naga. Uh, hello, Naga. How are you?
Hello.
Okay. So I had
Doing
a
pretty good.
I had a preamble
Can't really
here.
complain.
Let me do this very quick. So I sat here and wrote this out. Oh shit! Get off there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I sat there and wrote this out this morning, so let's see if you like this introduction, alright? Let's see. Hello, everyone. Today I have a very special guest. He has revolutionized exercising with the virtual reality headset while in VRC chat, all while streaming on Twitch.tv. He's won two KTKO tournaments, correct me if I'm wrong, including the recent installment KTKO 5. Not only does this person boast an incredible commanding presence, he exudes a great compassion, helping others to find their solid foundation while promoting independence. He served in the military to protect others and to commit continues that commitment in domestic life. Here is one, the only Naga Nation.
Please, just call me Naga. But
Okay,
that
okay.
was a nickname given to me by KT.
That
But that
actually,
eventually got adopted.
so yeah, and that actually leads us into our first question, Naga. So, Naga, that is a very impressive name. How did you acquire that name? What, how did you really acquire that name, and where did it come from?
So Naga Naga by itself is, if you look at Hindu or Indian mythology and so forth, or most like Southeast Asian mythologies, it comes down to like a half serpent demigod. But due to my actual cultural background of being half Malay Chinese, it actually translates to dragon. So that's why I took that name instead,
Awesome,
and it
awesome.
kind of fits since.
Yeah, and you definitely look dragon shaped. Okay, look, you definitely have that dragon shape with you. Yeah, and dragons are awesome, especially the eastern ones are more friendlier than the western ones, I have to say. But a dragon is a dragon is a
I
dragon.
mean, well, to be fair, I'm a hybrid of both East and West. With East normally comes with good fortune, good luck, and so forth for Eastern dragon mythology, while for Western is known for both known for destruction and well discourse. So when you blend the two, you have the ability to be a force for good, yet also be a force for evil. So you're not a pushover, but at the same time, not someone who is heartless.
Indeed, indeed, yeah, and so, and it's always good to maintain that balance, isn't it? It's really good to have a balance of both compassion and strength to get you through this life, right? That would seem to be the common theme, yeah.
I'd say so. Balance is key in a lot of things. It's almost like having a good diet and an exercise regimen. But to be fair, with how life is, curveballs happen. We will have our ups, we will have our downs. So it's not going to be perfect. But so long as you maintain it, it ultimately will end up going well. Just
Yeah,
takes time and energy.
absolutely, and I totally agree with that. So it was interesting. I was kind of pondering on this question last night, but I wanted to do this raw and live with you here. And so, you've mentioned that KT gave you the name of Naga Nation. What is Naga Nation? What does it mean to you and your audience?
Okay, I guess I'll give I guess I could start off with how it originated. So, when I first, well, became open and to actually being a furry, because I'm gonna be honest, I was in the closet for about 15 years.
Mm,
Um, when I joined KT's community, from what I know, he gives the nicknames as a sign of endearment. So with Naga came Naga Nation, and that nickname kind of stuck after I won my first KTKO championship with KTKO 2, which is actually roughly around this time last year. So with that, I looked at it as like a haha funny joke. But over time, when it moved into KTKO 3, I was training other people to fight in the tourneys. It became a running lore for myself within the community. And well, afterwards, it kind of stuck with how my community is now post streaming, or since the start of the streaming going forward. I didn't know what else to call the community at large. But it seems like a lot of people rallied behind me in this regard, so I will I will run that as well as I can, because to be perfectly honest with you, the community is what built my streaming career. Without them, I wouldn't be here. Hell, I even got peer pressured to start, so but here I am now.
Yes, and see, and that was the other thing you mentioned the other night, and because I was like, I had mentioned that you to Whitmore that I don't see protogens like this anymore, and you was like, we make them a dime a dozen. We make them a dime a dozen. How did the protogens become a thing? With how did you start producing fighter champion protos? And I mean, it was really good. You mentioned that. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that and how that came to be?
Okay, that that's actually a funny story. So that originally started when I was actually prior to me streaming. I was actually just doing workouts. I did VR workouts before even streaming those ones with a small group of people. And Solo Death, one of the guys who stayed with me from the beginning and was doing the workouts with me, he juggled between running a Rex, running a Dragon, and then also running a Proto. But during the tourney, he decided to run a protogen for that first go, and he did a very phenomenal showing, which allowed him to continue to keep being reinvited back because he did good work.
Hmm.
And then the second person I trained up that actually showed very big promise was Sir Widmore, and he also ran a protogen. So at that point, my fighters at that point were like, oh geez, Naga's creating war machines out of this at this point, and they're coming out of the war factories from the Naga Nation. So I was like, okay, I guess that's part of that lore too. So yeah, it just so happened to line up, and it's kind of a funny lore story, I guess.
Right. No, it was funny because especially when you mentioned it to me, I was like, "Oh!" And now I was totally blown away. I was like, "Wow!" Naga managed to mix machinery with magic because Naga has magical abilities. If you want to like, are you in the right Sona for that, or do you want to show us that?
I'm not in the right. No, I'm not in the right avatar to be able to pull that.
Okay.
And I don't think if I'm looking at your stream right now, I actually no. I think the frame rate's stabilizing. If you want, I can change into it. Don't have to. For that sake, we could save it for the end if
Oh
you
yeah,
really
we'll
want
save it for then.
for me to
Okay,
show
so
that off.
at the end, stick around, folks. We're gonna see Naga demonstrate his magical talents. Because as we know in Reginald's Cave, there's always magic going on and treasure and hugs. Okay, so after this, how long have you been streaming for, and how has your community grown over the past few months?
A few months. So I officially started streaming in April, and that actually started. My first test stream actually happened right after I got a similar interview or got interviewed by KT in his community from one of his streams. So I remember this vividly. I was finishing work. I was working remote, and I was on my lunch break. So I jumped on his KT stream because he got thrown with like over 300 some squats that he had to do that his chat redeem to make sure that happened. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do this with him. That way he's not doing it alone. And once that happened, but apparently he caught wind that I was either planning on streaming or thinking about doing so. So he plugged me in very, very hard that Thursday. And under that, I was like, okay, if that's the case, I'll do my first test stream Monday right after work. Hey. So I gave the double thumbs up. No, yeah, it was that Monday because I think it was a holiday right afterwards, and I did a back-to-back stream of, if I remember correctly, I did Hunt Showdown, um, and then the workout stream right afterwards, and that was my first test stream. Was a 5 hour long go, and that was really just push testing, see what I could do, what I couldn't do. I didn't have a whole lot of stuff ready for it. I was trying to get it as professional as I could because I take value in the quality of work that I do provide, and whatnot. And yeah, the, it kind of took off. Unfortunately, because of my work schedule, there are times where I'm absent for a long period of time, and unfortunately, I lose momentum.
Hmm.
But the community's been slowly growing, and honestly, for those who continue to stay, I can't thank them enough.
And see, like I can only imagine your first stream, right? Your very first stream, even if it is a test pilot, right? I can only imagine what you was going through at that point. And but, what was your feeling after you got done with your first test stream? What was going through your mind after that?
Holy crap! I actually did it. Because I've never been really good at putting things out into the public. A lot of both my work and my own personal life, I kind of kept, secluded or recluse away from others. Kind of had to hide things for a long period of time from people, family mainly.
Hmm.
And this was kind of the first time I've actually just broadcasted out in the open, saying, "Okay, cool." It was both, I would say, liberating in one case, and on the other hand, um, I guess very nervous to say the least. Anxious because at that point it's like, all right, I'm out there. What's next?
Yeah, and I can understand that feeling of being terrified because the where I came out on Facebook, right? I came out on a post and I was terrified and I actually lost family members due to coming out on Facebook and so because yeah, it's not an easy thing, but you know what? It is liberating, and I think that's the same with streaming or being a furry. I think it's just realizing something about yourself, and you may lose people, but you may gain people as well. So,
And I agree with that 100%.
all right. The next question. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Hang on. Let me. Uh. There we go. There we go. Okay. Um. So that brings us to our next question. There are a lot of furries in the fandom that like anonymity when discussing their real life. So no pressure to answer this question. But when you're not helping
Okay.
others with exercise, what is your occupation? What do you do in real life?
Okay. So I am a dragon or a man, depending on depending on the time of day, of many hats. So I own my own company, and that in itself, I do contracting on IT side, mainly for remote services. So if you have something like home systems that need to be hardened, you need to have whether it be phone, tablet, PC, laptop, whatever. We'll take it in, whatever's wrong with it, clean it up, make sure you're good and running, good to go. I help provide a internet security system. Normally, it'd be like something that you get commercially off the shelf, and we give you the full reign on how to manage that because we believe in self empowerment and also you understanding the tools. And what we would do is be helping you with the continuous monitoring side of the house for a smaller fee, and as a sustainment, as well as whatever main labor that we did in the beginning. Um, Outside of that, I am a contractor for a very very large expensive program, and can't really give too many details because that kind of would give away what I do, where I go, and all that other jazz. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's I do cybersecurity for a bit for a mid-sized firm working on a very 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 large project or program actually.
Oh, nice.
Programs are much bigger than projects.
And to extend that question a little bit, do you have I know you like to get on VR chat and stuff like that. I know you like to get on VR chat and hang out and everything like that. But what are your hobbies? What do you like to do and when you're just chilling out or something?
Okay. So, hobbies aside from VR chat. I mean, I do video games. I play video games mainly. First-person shooters have been my big bread and butter. You throw me behind the command console of a mech cockpit, I will make that freaking sing. So, Armored Core, I love the game. Mech Warrior, 5 or online. I actually used to play competitively uh back when the game first came out, and then when it finally released Community Warfare, I was actually one of the best light assault pilots in the game. And when they mean by light assault, we're talking about weight class of mech, not a class or like you was thinking like Battlefield or whatever the case
Oh,
may
okay.
be. Yep. Also, mini wargaming, so tactical to strategic, running those numbers, logistics, that sort of deal, as well as how to fight on the how to create scenarios, run scenarios, and then fight in said scenarios for on the tabletop. And games include BattleTech, Warhammer 40K, Heavy Gear, Infinity for if you want to go with like small unit tactics, stuff like that.
Cool. And so
As well as going to the range and airsoft and paintballing.
like when someone comes to your stream, they can always expect like you to be like other than Exodus, and they can always expect you to be playing some kind of first shooter game, and I really like that. I played PlanetSide with you, and it was really awesome. I had a lot of fun with that. Not everybody liked it though. I have to say, not everybody liked it, but I thought it was a pretty good game.
Well, I can agree. The game is old and can be jank. The system, the gunplay in itself could be a lot better. I'm not going to disagree. Now, it has gone through many facelifts and overhauls. Can it be better? Yes, but it's working on a very old engine that they haven't been able to truly update in more than a decade. I mean, sure, they added physics, they've changed armor values and how certain things work, but they do it in the name of game balance. If not, overall time to kill on that game would be so astronomically fast it would not be funny, especially for a massive multiplayer shooter where one single fight, they were the original ones, you could have like over 200 people, 300 people in a single location fighting for one piece of territory, and it's live. Like, you lose one piece of territory, it moves on to the next one. It's a constant war until the continent closes after a couple hours, and then you move on to the next location.
Yeah, I can't seem to get through that thing without getting shot at least once. Yeah, yeah, but
Dying is part of the game.
oh yeah,
Dying is part of that game.
yeah, especially when you're in a tank and you get shot. So
I mean, you're a
circling,
bigger target after
yes.
all.
So circling back around to KTKO, uh, circling around back to KTKO, you won two championships if I'm not too mistaken. And so, um,
Yes.
what did you feel upon winning the first one, and how does it compare to winning this one?
So the first one, that one I remember vividly. Mainly because it was, again, first time, like one of the first times that I've actually competed in anything for a long period of time. I used to do martial arts, competed on a local level, won a couple of trophies, shot competitively back in college as well. But this was more than 8 to 10 years since I've actually went in to compete, and that sense of victory was, I guess, a shocker for me since I haven't did not taste that in a long period of time. But what was really the most memorable thing about it was how the community turned around and the congratulations, the overwhelming amount of support that I received after that was astronomical, and I didn't think I would have ever felt that in my lifetime.
And so,
And that was even after that, even though I didn't win the following one, the warmth was still there, and I guess for someone who's been been in an area of being alone for so long, it's good to see that there are still places and bastions where that kind of kindness still exists.
exactly, and I think that's why each of us fell in love with KT's stream because he does have that inviting personality, even if his personality is aloof at times. Um, yeah, I really do enjoy the community that he seems to exude, and so yeah, that no, and so I mean, so you won this one, right? You won this last
Yes,
KTKO, and so did that feeling increase or decrease, or how did you feel about this one?
I would I would say it still felt the same. Mainly because I know there was especially during KT's chat, there was just the way they did the betting system, the overwhelming support of Naga's going to win and steamroll this one. I was like, holy crud! And I'm not gonna lie, I went into that tournament pretty nervous because unlike the previous tournaments where I trained like hard for weeks to a month plus out. This one I did not have the time to be able to dedicate that kind of energy in preparation, let alone practice into the game. And there was still stuff going around in the at the castle where some guys were sick, were still recovering, and it was just it was a cocktail of things could have gone wrong, probably did go wrong, and I was anxious.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous. I was anxious.
I know you went against Fluffy Rogue in the last of it, I believe. I was watching the entire thing, and that was a really close match. And that, unfortunately, I didn't have time to get the clip together to show everyone. But that was such a close match. I want to say you guys had fun. I was thinking on that last bout, you guys had a lot of fun. What was going through your head as you were fighting Rogue?
The meme. Finally, a worthy challenger. This battle will be glorious. But in all seriousness, the last time I fought him, I think was in KTKO 2. The last two tournaments, I never actually got to face him.
Right?
So being able to fight him again, it was like all right, cool. One of my good friends who happens to be my rival. Bet, let's go. Let's go make this happen. Win or lose, this will be a fun match.
Yeah, he put up. He
There was
definitely.
no malicious. Yeah, there was no malice to that. That
Yeah.
was just.
No, and Rogue, you guys, every contestant did great, but you and Rogue put up. I wasn't expecting Rogue to last that long, honestly. I never seen him fight though, but he kind of looks like a twig. So he does look like a twig, but that just means that you can't judge a book by its cover.
Hmm.
Most definitely. So, as we head into 2023, what was your major takeaway from this year, and in terms of growth, or
Well,
in general?
so moving into 2023 and then out of 2023, I would say life is full of surprises. You never know where you're gonna be. Things can change from month to month, and you just got to be flexible with that. And at the same time, so long as you're good with good people, that you know that you've got their back and they've got yours,
Hmm.
you could weather practically any storm. Sure, there'll be ups and downs, but as long as you guys communicate, things will work out in the end. It just takes, again, a lot of things just take time, and got to put pride aside, and somebody's got to make the first move. If they're not going to, then you might as well put it upon yourself to do so, just to make sure the ball gets rolling. Does it
Exactly.
suck? Sure. But you know what? Progress as a whole that benefits everybody, including yourself, gotta swallow it at times and just do.
So, the new year starts tomorrow, as we know, right? The new year starts tomorrow, and the thing, and many people are excited to celebrate it. What would you like to see, or where would you like to see yourself at this time next year, moving into 2025?
Where would I like to see myself this time next year, moving into 2025?
Yep, yeah.
Honestly, in terms of growth, I would just be expanding what I've already got. Like, in terms of where I'm at with life, I'm happy. I'm content with my job. It's not like I'm gonna be. It's a wow thing. I mean, it pays the bills. It does the thing. I get to go to cons and be able to visit people, which I haven't done in years until last year, which was my first foray back into it. Um, Again, I'm content.
Well,
It's not like I'm gonna be, blazing to strive to new things. Maybe travel a little bit more, but in terms of personal growth, just expand on what I'm already doing.
awesome, and I like that. That's really good. And so, like for the last question, uh, what do you have? Today's New Year's Eve, okay? Right? And so,
Mm-hmm.
do you plan on doing any partying or like doing anything for New Year's Eve, like here at VR Chat or wherever?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Uh,
That'll be well. So
oh, I should
this
say.
year we're trying.
Go ahead.
Hmm?
Go ahead. I asked that right.
No. So so tonight it's pretty much I jump in. I'll have myself either on green or on blue. Anybody and everybody just jumps on in, and we just have a good time. That's all.
Exactly, and
We just
we'll get this
don't gotta make
party.
it complicated.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll get this party started for sure. Guys, and look, this is Naga. Look, this is a cute bean right over here. Okay. If you get
I will neither confirm nor deny that.
I'm saying it, okay, and my word's law. Uh so okay. So guys, if you guys want to catch Naga on his stream, Naga, tell the audience when you stream and what when you stream and when you go live.
Okay, now that's a subject that I haven't even answered myself yet. So, in terms of when I stream, beforehand I did it like during the weekdays. I did the workout streams on VR. Weekends I did games. I have to rework the schedule because the previous workout schedule wasn't tenable. However, I will be able to host, I guess, a VR workout stuff upon request for those and go from there. So long as I got it on and somebody who wants to, I can host that. But I had personally have to rework my own schedule to be honest with you, Raz. I haven't been able to fix that yet.
And that's totally that's totally fine, and we're excited to have you stream. And guys, I'm fixing to open up the Q&A for Naga. If you guys have any questions for Naga, feel free to ask. Just make sure they're appropriate. So if you guys have any questions for Naga, feel free to ask. Now is the time. Going once, going twice.
Hmm?
Oh wait. Okay. So we do have a question from Easy Wolf. He says, "How does training work for VR boxing?"
Okay, so with the way the tournament system is worked out, sure, you can play the Udon boxing world and be able to play with other people and train and understand the game mechanics. However, because it's in a tournament setting, if you end up having to either win or lose, you're not just playing one fight, those 3 rounds, and you're done. You're going to be fight slash play against multiple people. So the VR boxing, at least the way I do it, is played or trained by endurance. So say for example, you happen to be accidentally knocked out in the first round, and you get moved into the losers bracket. You then have to, as if you're consistently winning all your fights afterwards, you're fighting a game of endurance at that point because it's cardio. You're throwing punches, you're moving, you're bobbing and weaving, and the more fights you do, the more tired you get. So if you're not conditioned to be able to fight multiple bouts within a set period, would include spiking your heart rate up, and having a rest period, spiking it up, going to rest period. By the time if you manage to get to the end, you're just going to be tired. And I remember having to do this in one of my other fights, I think KTKO 2.
The reason,
or I did. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but like Izzy was asking because he has small spaces to work with. That's why he was asking.
Okay. So, and this one I can actually answer because I actually played with the first tournament that I did win in. I was actually in a 2x3 box, so 2 foot by 3 foot box, where I actually had to lock my knee pressed up against my bed, so I know at least in front of me, I know that I was not going to be punching anything, and then rotated myself left and right and had to rely very heavily on turn controls and so forth to be able to make my hits. So it's doable, it's just you have to make sure you plan out your space when you do the training itself to do that boxing. So a little bit of spatial awareness is needed.
And what were you saying about KTKO? When you were training for the second one, you said something about what you had to do for endurance.
Okay, so that one I was already starting the physical fitness side and rebuilding the endurance component.
Mm-hmm.
So and not just KTKO 2, but all of the fights, I'm training for in that eventuality of, oh crap, I messed up, I got knocked down to losers bracket, and I have to fight more fights than anybody else combined. Because what you would end up having to do is you fight your first one, you lost that. You then move into losers bracket on that same level. If you get knocked out there, you're out. But you win that one, you lose the first one, win the second, then you move into quarterfinals. You have to win that one. Then you move into semifinals, and then that one now is not just one bout of 3 rounds. It is now best 2 of 3. So you have to win at least 2 more fights with that one. Then you go to losers finals, do best 2 out of 3 there, so that tacks on another 2, and then you go to grand finals, which at minimum is another 2. So you're looking at a minimum of 9 fights if you lose that first one, versus if you win your first match and go all the way to grand finals, you're only having to do 6 at most.
Awesome. Okay, and does anybody else have a question for Sir Naga here? Okay, I'll hydrate, honey. Somewhere. I should have hydrated anyway. Does anybody else have a question for Sir Naga?
Could the VR fitness be done without full body? Yes. So the way I've actually designed it was you don't need full body to participate. The only one who does would be me, because I have to be the one that emulates the movements that you have to follow. I've had plenty of people or plenty of guys who've joined my stream or even the workout sessions who are either on desktop and they just followed along just like they would do a workout video, or in half body. No other requirements are needed. You just show up, and if you're wanting to train and improve, you train and improved. If I remember correctly, Huey, one of our regulars, he actually jumped in and he was on desktop mode for a long period of time up until he got half body, and he was training his butt off without a headset until he managed to get one, and then he trained with the headset. Only thing I ask for everybody is make sure you have enough space when you're doing that in VR so you don't bump into anything or knock stuff over, and make sure you hydrate and have something to replenish those fluids. when you do workout, because it's not just a light. Okay, we're doing stuff, and you don't do a. It's not a light workout. We push ourselves.
Nope. And boxing is never is from what I've seen, but how they push themselves in the real boxing, no, it's no joke. Um, and my hubby is being funny right now. Um, so does anybody have any more questions for Sir Naga? Yes, no, maybe, maybe. Oh yeah. Izzy Wolf said. I asked since some. Oh wait.
As some can feel like they would they would at a gym be a little bit self conscious. That is true. We've had there are those who do feel like that, but that's why I say don't worry about other people. Everybody there that is there working out is solely focused on just doing the workout and doing their own thing, just like at the gym. Sure, you may get an eye that looks over here and there, but let's be honest, most of those people that are either in the gym or in the VR workouts, they're there to just focus on trying to keep up with the instructor. You shouldn't be comparing yourself to the people around you, because everybody has a different start and everybody's at a different fitness level whenever they jump in, whether they go to the gym or to the workout sessions. It doesn't matter.
Oh, there is
You
an.
just focus on yourself, and then everything else will fall into place. Because at that point, it wouldn't matter what they think. What matters is what you think about yourself and how you want to change yourself in the long run.
Izzy, you said there's an echo in the audio. Hang on, let me see if I can't correct that right quick.
Testing, testing, 1, 2. Oh, he says there's no echo.
Grimmy, do you have a question for Naga? It's a Q&A.
Dark Voltaire, thank you. The ones who worked on my avatar would be, for textures, that would be Vichama, and the Blender and 3D work, that would be Stealth Unit. Both of those guys are awesome, and I would recommend them to anybody.
Oh yeah. So we got a question from Izzy. What was inspiration in the pattern of Naga?
So the inspiration and pattern. I guess this would be, if you want. At that point, I guess we're moving into just showing off the avatar. Give me 1 second. Am I still in frame? Let me double check really quick. Nope. Let me step back. Okay. Bit too far. So with my avatar. I kept it simple. Preferred darker colors. So winged dragon, mobility, that sort of deal. Kind of that blend between east and west, especially with the fur and whatnot. So got the mane. It's not the stereotypical finned that you would see with western dragons, but the eastern fluff that goes along the spine. Now the color pattern, I like blacks, dark blues, grays. So that's just my own color palette that I use for myself, and the accent marks are just chevrons because I was a former soldier, and on the left was what my rank was when I got out, which is an E4. And for leadership roles, I'd be a corporal. You can't really put an army shield, the sham shield, as jokingly call it, on that left eye. So I just left that as the corporal rank. But flipped over because it's not.
We got a question from Grimmy. Grimmy says, "What got you into the military?"
That right there is a question. Okay, so kind of a I won't say loaded question, but it's a kind of a multi-part. So growing up, I didn't exactly have. I wouldn't say I was in the best area, but not the worst. Um, I understood what it meant to go hungry at one point. Parents fighting, gone through parental divorce, and normally divorces are they're not, especially in this day and age, they're not clean. My parents, their divorce lasted almost 4 years, and because of the constant fighting back and forth between both of them, because they wouldn't speak to each other, I was kind of the thrown in the middle in having to deliver the message, and their anger kept getting thrown onto me. I kind of just given up at that point. I was like, you know what? Is there a there's got to be some other way. If not, I'd just rather give the opportunity to somebody else. I had depressing. That's depressing as it sounds. I did have a death wish at one point. Now there is going to be a happy ending to the story, but this is kind of the setup. Originally was going to join the United States Marine Corps, go in the infantry, catch a bullet, and then whatever the life insurance policy was going to give to my sister at the time, who had significantly better grades than I did, and it would have solved a lot of my mom's financial issues. Luckily, my mom, she met one of my mentors, or the main mentor who helped me get into the current college that I went to. Happened to be a military college, funny enough, and says, "All right, you want to go in the military, but your mom is wanting to go into college. Here's an alternative." And the reason why he picked that was because my upbringing reminded him of himself. Divorced parents, single mom being raising two kids, and then and the mom was a hairdresser, so money wasn't exactly readily available. So I took a risk. Pretty much that was the only school I applied to, and says, "Am I going to college?" Pretty much played Russian roulette, but loaded all the cylinders minus one. Click. Oh, I guess I'm going to college. So went to the military college, and even afterwards, I still wanted to make sure I had something afterwards, whether it be on-job skill set, a place where my mom and my sister could go to in the event of a crisis. I chose to go into the Army National Guard, so I stayed stateside, and enlisted in 2014.
Okay, awesome. And then Voltaire asks, is there a country you would like to travel to?
Is there a country that I wish to travel to? I've never been to Europe. I would love to be able to travel across there. Would like to visit Japan. I have been to South Korea and would love to go back because their seafood is phenomenal. Actually, a lot of their food over there is just phenomenal, made to order. I'd love to go back there. But yeah, it's either Europe or certain parts of Asia.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions for Sir Naga? All right, Naga. Did you want to show off your Oh. Oh.
No.
Okay. Grimmy asks, when and how did you get into the furry fandom? I think this is one of the...
I'm surprised that question didn't come up first.
You know what? I should
normally,
yeah. My first time.
That's normally a. No, you're fine. You're fine. It's just that's normally a catch question for any furry. It's like, okay, what, when, and how. So when I've officially took the plunge into the fandom as a whole, i.e., getting involved more in the community side of the house with people and whatnot, that actually happened last year when I got a random gift sub from Cosmic Raptor 2KT stream. Now, keep in mind, again, like I said, in the beginning of the stream, I was a closet furry for about 15 years. So I knew the fandom, I knew what was going on. I was just in denial, and I kept it to myself and wouldn't say it to anybody and so forth. There was really, I didn't know how to approach it. Hell, even online, I kept denying it. I said, hey, I know a couple people who are, and I'd be able to support it, but I just didn't myself because I had a lot of friends who were, against it. So I just kept it to myself and kept quiet. It wasn't until last year I think it was in June time frame. Yeah, it was no July, June, no July. Yeah, July time frame. July moving into August, where I got a random gift sub from Cosmic Raptors, and this is after I looked at. I was like, okay, what's because I saw a lot of short YouTube shorts and some stuff from TikTok that about VR chat, the avatars and stuff. I was like, okay, I was just curious about it. Looked into VR chat, saw one of KT, one of the videos that he was in with, I think it was Fluffy Sasha, I think, in one of those games, and KT plugged himself. So okay, who was like, okay, he seems pretty chill. Who's this guy? I jumped into KT's stream. He happened to be live that day. And not even 30 seconds in, I get a gift sub from Cosmic Raptor. What that ran me through a loop. I was like, okay, how did they know what happened? How to figure it out? I was like, okay, I pretty much got presented a crossroads: do or do not. And I was like, you know what? I've got nothing else to lose. Do. Jumped into KT stream. At that point, I was already thinking about getting VR, so I already took the plunge and went full body right out the gate. So it was already on order at the time. And, well, the rest is history. Here I am.
Okay, and then Grimmy asks, why are you so involved into helping people? Grimmy, get better grammar. I'm just kidding. Grimmy. I love you.
So, that... Well, a lot of people I know within the fandom and just in general, we all wish that we had someone there at our lowest times, and that feeling of being alone is never fun. Does it hurt? I mean, yeah, you toughen yourself up, but in the long run, it does not. It's not good for the soul. And for 15 years, I pretty much, as I admitted to a couple other guys, and I'll say it here, I felt like a soulless husk for a long period of time. Couldn't really feel. So once the community showed that there was that kind of compassion still there amongst strangers, I refuse to allow anybody else that comes into my circles to feel like that. Now, granted, there's only so much I could do if people don't, want to take some of the advice or wish to, you can only help those who want to help themselves. So there's people in my life that come and go who've didn't want to take the offer and move forward. They would rather just be, stay in their own misery. And you have to take a lifeguard mentality, and you can't save them all.
Okay, Grimmy, this is going to be the last. This is going to be the last question, because Grimmy's just throwing out random questions now. Why is Naga such an amazing person? That's your last question.
I'm just average. I'm just an average, overworked, broken veteran dragon on the internet, man. I'm just average.
Well, okay, so, hey, would you guys like to see Naga light up this tower? Would you guys like to see that? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So let me let me get things set up, and we'll get Naga. Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, you deserve some pats. Oh, Georgia's in the chat. Georgia.
Oh.
Okay, I guess we can have one question from Georgia.
Okay, I'll sit back down.
Georgia, ask one question, then we're gonna go do a light show with Naga. Ask one question, and then you get to, and we'll see if. I have a question. Who
do you like?
I think he means where. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in your company, in our company?
Wait. In your this kind of interview? Wait, wait. I don't think I'm interviewing for your company, Rez. What?
Wait.
This is a job interview?
Wait. I didn't know this was a job interview. Wait, where are we?
Wait,
Uh,
what?
it's a
Where do I see
joke.
myself
Okay,
in 5 years?
hang on. Okay, look, it's a joke. I got it. Okay, guys, hi. Raz here. I'm a cute bean. But he's cuter. So give me
No, I'm
one
not.
sec. He is. Don't let him lie. Don't let him lie. Okay, we're gonna go out here. Hey, come on, come here, Naga. Okay.
All right. I'm on my way.
All right, come on. Okay, we're gonna switch up cameras right quick because I am a. We're gonna see Naga do his light trick. Hold on, hang on.
Light tricks.
Okay, I'm sorry. I did diminish that, but we're gonna see Naga. Okay, we're gonna see Naga do a light show. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Okay. All right, Naga.
Oop, hello. Hi.
You are center stage in front of the clock tower. It's remember it's 1.4 gigawatts. All right, look,
All right.
look.
All right.
If anybody can guess that, in the chat, I will give them a free gift sub. If you know that if you know where that came from, I will give you a free gift sub in the chat.
Hey, okay.
I think.
No, I'm not in a job interview. I'm in a different kind of interview.
Okay, Naga. You are on camera.
Is he corrected? Is he corrected you on that one? Okay. Bravo, everybody. Well, I gotta say, bravo to Izzy for the correction.
Yes. And see. There you. Yes. I couldn't remember the quotes. I couldn't. All right. All right. I'm gonna come here and give you hugs. Yeah, you're a good beat. Okay, everybody, it's open. I'm gonna open it. It's already a Friends Plus. So, if you guys want to join, do not hesitate to